Hello, queens and kings. It's Dana Storco's Killer Queen Antique Jewelry. What day is it today? Tuesday. The Tuesday haul. All in preparing for the Saturday sale. Oh, let's start off with these unusual yet classic designed earrings. They're sterling silver. And I don't think that I've ever seen watch fobs converted into earrings. These ones are lapis and onyx. And just like a Gemini, they'll flip the switch. I'm a Gemini. Now, I had several people ask to see this set up close. So, let it be my pleasure to show it to you up close. They're Bohemian Dragon's Breath. From Jerusalem in the original box. Not only are there earrings, which are screw back at the moment, but can be converted to pierced earrings rather quickly. There's also a beautiful brooch with a full rolling dragon's breath across the stone. Dragon's breath is glass. It's artisan glass. It's a rather spectacular set. Let's pull the camera back. And up, and I will show you that there are 8 other pairs of earrings. Statement amber earrings. Nothing really tiny or shy about any of these. French hooks. What else do we have? Of course, some of these are vintage. They're all on their original wires. If you'd want them on French wires, just let me know. Now these ones, that's part of the design. Quite beautiful, I think. These are, of course, post angles. This pair and this pair. Now, I want to say all of them, all but one pair are Baltic amber. One pair is copal. Now, the difference between copal and Baltic amber is a few 100 million years. Copal's millions of years old. Baltic amber actually took hundreds of millions of years to develop. Let's see, while we're camera up, we'll show you this necklace. Let's just say it's a representation of Van Cleef and Arpels, Alhambra. And that's mother of pearl. Literally so close I can wear my Van Cleef and Arpels and you're not going to second guess it. I think we can take a camera down from now. Oh, of course I want to see those beautiful flowers. Let me pull out a mat. This desk just gets so bright and shiny with the lights. I should have had the mat cleaned off, but that only takes a moment. There we go. It's a little bit better. Well, when it dries, it'll be a lot better. first thing we'll show you down on the mat. New antique Scottish brooch. Buckle. There's a tiny nibble from the bloodstone in this. And that looks like there is, but there's not. It's clear quartz running alongside of that agate. Other than that nibble, this Victorian brooch and pendant, early Victorian, probably late Georgian, early Victorian. That pin is extending way past. Of course, it's all hand chased, which means it's all in hand engraved. If I had to guesstimate the date, between 1860 and 1880, so that would put it solid in Victorian, really. Just from the design, I can tell you from the design of the way the stones are set and the bow. Let me show you a couple small pieces. I don't want to say anything not significant because someone might find them wonderful. Here's an antique buckle ring. It's all been chased, but quite worn here at the top of the ring where, well, as you know, an antique that was worn would be. But it's all sound. Now, I can't estimate the age of this ring. I can tell you I had to have it XRF'd. It is fine sterling, but it's the year of the dragon. So it's a wonderful Chinese, and I do believe it is Chinese, not like a modern reproduction ring. Definitely vintage. It's not March 925. It sort of has a tiny bit of Chinese characters inside. But he's a wonderful dragon. He's a bypass, which means we can adjust him to fit probably from a 5.5 to maybe, oh, I'm going to say a 9 easy. I do have a few of the popular heart padlocks. And when I say a few, not a lot. Four to be exact. 4 sterling silver padlocks. Now I have gold padlocks as well, but we're showing you what's new. Some of these are vintage and some of them are antique. I'll tell you that during the sale. There is a beautiful antique chased small locket on the order of the gold lockets that I had in the other haul. But this one is sterling. There is a large sterling gate bracelet. I haven't measured it. I will, and I'll put it up on the screen. It's probably 7 inches. It can be altered, you know, with larger rings at the end here. It's got a nice large, well, actually it's larger than any of the hearts that I have available. Singularly, but it should be. This is a nice heavy sterling silver bracelet. I'll put the weight up there as well. It's 2, 4, 6 gates is what they call that. I'm pretty sure it's a bracelet unique here to the UK. I've never seen them in jewelry when I sold in the US. Speaking of things that are unique to here. Well, I don't know if they're completely unique to here, but this is a gorgeous Edwardian chased locket. I have had it open. Of course, it has been cleaned. It's on a lovely antique chain. Now, if that wasn't special enough, there's also the matching ring. I don't know who had this, but they didn't wear it much. Poison ring. Now, some would call it a locket ring. Some would call it a poison ring. I'd call it a poison ring. I'd also call them beautiful. The title said Coquette aesthetic and cottage core. And maybe some of you don't know that there's like this big trending thing with girly girl dressing. I'm going to be 60, so I'm not a girly girl, but yet I'm still a very girly girl. Of course, it's Valentine's Day soon also. So I'm not sure if I know anything that says more romantic, coquette, Valentine's Day, hearts, flowers, and cameos. Now, all of these are vintage. I think she's the oldest. She would be the oldest from the 1940s. She is 1950s and she's Victorian revival. And I believe she's 1970s and she's Art Deco revival. All of them are 9-karat gold. They're all large, heavy cameos. Oh, and I want to say, yes, all of them are signed. So they would have been hand carved and by a master carver. Which, if you didn't know, cameos nowadays, they're all done with laser and what have you. Now, if you're new to the channel, you won't have seen cameos before. Now, I have cameos from the Georgian era up into the 1970s. These rings are actually from the 1950s. I bought these 2 pieces and the next 2 rings from one individual who, they were her mother's, and she never wore them. The mom never wore them. She got them in Italy. She never wore them. Her daughter never wore them. Oops. And I just dropped one. Luckily on a soft floor. Let's check it out. Make sure, yes, it's fine. Now, both of these are very beautiful. And not only are they very beautiful, they're very large. She wore, I guess she bought them for her right hand and her left hand. When I show them to you, you'll see what I mean. They're 9-karat gold, and they are heavy, heavy, heavy rings. Don't know if you can see that they're artisan signed. I think this one shows up a little bit better. But she bought them at the same time. One for her right hand, one for her left. And they're time warp. They look like they've never been worn. And the lady that I bought them from said she doesn't ever remember her mother wearing them. She wore the brooches, but she didn't never wear the rings. I'll also put the sizes up on the screen. Now we have a jeweler, and if you're new to the channel, you wouldn't know Krabby Bob our jeweler. But he's back. He's working part-time. Bob's 78 years old and just had 5 TIA, trans-ischemic attacks or mini strokes. But he sized 2 rings for me today. So, yeah, he is doing sizing. He sized this gorgeous opal. And he also sized a Christmas present for my husband. My husband bought me this gorgeous moonstone. Boy, we're really up close and personal there to see jewelry. There we go. A little better. I love this ring. Love, love, love it. Love, love the opal as well. Oh, enough about my jewelry. Let's get on and let me show you why else this show is coquette and girly and all things love, hearts, and flowers. Might as well pull them all out, and then I'll just show them to you one at a time. I thought maybe this was a tiny bit impractical, but then I thought, well, maybe you really, really love pearls. And you would wear a pearl anklet. They're freshwater pearls. And little tiny glass check beads in between and a barrel clasp. I'm gonna guess that's probably 80s vintage. My pearls are a mix of brand new to antique. I'm sure there are more bracelets. I was gonna say, I know there were at least a couple more bracelets. There's a white pearl bracelet, a red pearl bracelet. And yes, that is bright red. And I would call these champagne. They're not quite peach, they're more champagne color. These are all stretch, except for the barrel clasp anklet. All of the findings are sterling silver. My pearls are all sterling silver or gold. This one has a large lobster clasp and an extender. Probably 10 to 12 millimeter cream. I hate to say potato pearls because potato pearls are, yeah, they kind of look like a potato. These have that shape, but they certainly don't have a dull luster. These are long ovoid pearls with an extender. Lobster claw. Like I said, I will put the measurements up. These are beautiful. It's a double strand or a triple strand. Triple strand. Of pink freshwater pearls and little silver beads with an extender. I could just see this as a collar. It is so pretty and feminine. Now, these, might as well pull these out. Holy, these are more. It's one of the never-ending flapper wrapper, 102 inches of lipstick pink. They're not red and they're not pink, you know, like a traditional pink. They're lipstick. They call the color lipstick. And if that's your color pink or your color pinky red, those are absolutely gorgeous. You can see the luster on them. Now, there are pinky pearls here. Beautiful baby pink pearls. Lovely heavy pinks, blues, golds, green, an infinity strand. Let me hold these up and I'll tell you. Oh, I can just grab the tape measure, but I'm sure I could guess real close. I would have said 22, but they're 21, so that makes them 42 inches long. Absolutely beautiful. Now these, they're like in the style of Art Deco. Double strand. Little pink quartz chips. And I don't know what says Valentines more than pink and red together. It's got two little red beads. I haven't really, they're probably glass. When I first looked at them, I thought, oh, that looks like red jade. It's got a little crystal ball and then a tassel. Double strand with a tassel. And let's see, I saved my favorites really for the last ones. This strand's from the 1950s. It has a silver, really pretty filigree clasp. The pearls are double stranded. They're more like a champagne, pink champagne. They're not champagne, they're more like pink champagne. And the luster is beautiful on them. Now, me personally, I like a nice short strand. Those are probably 16 inches. Look at this clasp is gold. Look at the luster, and they're baby pink. They're almost the exact same color as that strand. And these are it's nice, they're on clasp. A little easier to measure them until it hooks onto the tape. But you can't see all that. 30 inches. So a classic opera strand. They're opera length. Now, not everyone's cup of tea, but I like them. Little Rice Krispie pearls, biwa pearls, they call them. I like them because they're beautiful. And they're the little diamonds of pearls. Now, nothing will say Valentine's Day more than this necklace. It's got a woven heart of pink champagne, little biwa pearls, and then pink, white, and champagne colored pearl beads. Now, there's not an extender on this, but I can put one. That's not a problem. But I love that strand. Well, let me think. I think that's it, honestly, until tomorrow. And the reason I came to you today is because I have 2 large lots coming tomorrow. And it would be just entirely too much to get through all of them and this. I'm looking for my ring sizer. What the heck did I do with that? Here it is. So I can give you a quick measurement on these gorgeous, huge cameos. I'll put one on my hand. This one is, it says it's a 7. Now, I wear a 7.5 to a 7 3/4. And I will show you that that fits my hand perfectly. Can you wear it if you wear a 7? Yes. And here's the reason. It's open in the back. You get all of that extra room. So when you get them like this, I would call this ring, honestly, from a 7 to a 7 3/4. These are wonderful rings if your hands swell. I have arthritis, so yeah, they swell quite often. This one I'm going to say is probably an 8.5 or a 9. Nope, see? It's an 8. Now, let me put this on my 7 3/4 hand. Yeah, it feels way really loose on my 7 3/4 hand. So I'd probably call it an 8 1/4 to an 8 3/4 because of that extra room. I will measure the length of these because even though you can tell that my hands are long, unless you know me in person, I'm nearly 5'9" and I have long hands and long feet. These are an 1.5 inches long. And they are an 1 1/4 inches wide. So, if you can imagine how long they'll be on your hand. If you have nice long fingers, like me, you can wear it. And it won't cover up your knuckles. I think they're beautiful. And if you love large cameos, chances you think they are beautiful too. Well, you could wear them, you know, if you had both, you could wear them like this lady intended to wear them. Or you could switch them around, switch them up. And she is a left facing. And I've said why they're less left facing, because this would have been done by a left-handed artist. It's the only difference. That's why they're more rare. Oh, well, kings and queens, if you've never heard that before, you got a new little fact today. It's been wonderful bringing all of these beautiful things to you. And today I got to catch up with our jeweler, Krabby Bob. Spent actually a few hours with him, and it was time well spent because I hadn't seen him in weeks. I saw him a little bit for yesterday, but he was in a much better, not only mood, but he seemed he had picked up a bit. And I'm going to try and spend as much time as I can with him as possible. So, that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm not sure where that little jump ring came from. And I will see you all, hopefully, tomorrow for the new haul. And definitely for Friday for the preview. And Saturday for the sale. Thank you, Queens and Kings. Have a wonderful rest of your day.